Now, Storm Watch 12 weather with meteorologist Oliver Smith.
Well, definitely cooler temperatures into southern Oregon, not quite as cool into northern California, but we're roughly about 10 degrees cooler in Medford at 88 degrees, at 63 in Brookings, 92 out in Lakeview, 79 in Chemult, and still 96 degrees, still plenty hot in Montague. It's a little bit on the breezy side over towards Gold Beach. Current wind gust at 33 miles an hour and fairly similar gusts out towards Lakeview, right around 30 miles an hour. And we do have high fire danger for east of the Cascades and a good portion of Siskiyou County for the remainder part of the evening up through 9 o'clock. Still looking at those wind gusts upwards of 40 miles an hour. Just very dry air. We're looking all clear, at least. We don't have any thunderstorms, so it's just the wind and the dry air that's giving us the red flag warning for today. Shifting our attention down to the south, here's Mount Shasta City, so we're looking down towards Redding and Red Bluff. Park fire that Tim was just talking about, we could see this very clearly on our visible satellite. All of this gray stuff is all smoke, and in fact, this little tiny white puff that kind of shows up right there, that's a pyrocumulus cloud, and that's when those fires are getting very, very intense. In fact, you add the radar, you know a fire is really intense when the radar is actually able to pick up some of that thicker smoke. So it's a bad fire down into California. Fortunately, we're not able to pick up any of the smoke in our region, although Lakeview has been picking up the poor air quality from that particular fire. We're cooler today because the system moved into Canada, so it ushered in a lot of cooler air, especially up to our north, but we definitely cooled down into our region. So it's going to stay nice for tonight and into tomorrow as well. Now, our stormcast, not really showing a whole lot of activity. We're going to see some clouds, though, along the Oregon coast. This particular model wants to pick up some activity down towards Lakeview, but that's probably going to be farther to the south and east than what's being indicated, so it should stay clear overall. Now, for the Brit Festival for tonight, again, Willie Nelson and company is in town, and it's going to be looking into the 80s by 7:30. By 10 o'clock, temperatures right around 70 degrees, so very pleasant temperatures overall. Forecast for tonight, we're going to have lows into the 40s east of the Cascades, 50s west of the Cascades, 57 is the forecast though for Medford, 51 for Mount Shasta City. Similar temperatures over towards Brookings. For tomorrow, again, very comfortable temperatures, just a tiny bit warmer possibly for a couple locations, but otherwise fairly similar. Upper 80s, low 90s east of the Cascades, generally the same kind of scenario west of the Cascades. 70s along the Oregon coast, though, 96 in Wairika, 91 for Medford. Now, we don't have a red flag warning or even a fire weather watch for tomorrow for east of the Cascades, but for a good portion of the Klamath Basin, we do have an elevated risk of fire weather because we'll be looking at breezy conditions, still the low humidity, so it's possible that maybe the National Weather Service could issue a red flag warning for parts of the Klamath Basin for tomorrow. We'll keep an eye on that. But in terms of the smoke, we're looking pretty good now. That won't be the case as we go through tonight because we're still going to be looking at the smoke from up north, and that'll start to blow into the region, especially east of the Cascades. Now, once we go through Friday and into Saturday, our models really wanted to pick up a lot more smoke, especially east of the Cascades. Hopefully, this doesn't actually perspire. But we're going to be looking at our system that's given us the cooler weather. We're going to get some more reinforcements of cooler conditions, and so temperatures staying average or even a little bit below average for this time of year for a couple more days. And then we're going to have a system move through Monday and into Tuesday. There's still some pretty good indications that we could see a little bit of some rain, at least along the Oregon coast. There's a lot of fluctuation in terms of this particular system, so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. At the very least, we get a lot of clouds and at least a little bit cooler. And that's going to be good because by the time we get towards Wednesday and Thursday of next week, we're going to start looking at that hotter weather starting to come back once again. So here we go with the forecast for the Oregon coast, mostly into the 60s for the next several days. Best chance of any kind of showers would be late Monday into early on Tuesday. Otherwise, it's going to stay fairly dry and fairly temperate overall. Northern California, mid-90s for tomorrow, and then right around 90 degrees for the next several days. You look to stay high and dry, and you can see that 99 by Thursday, so that heat comes back yet again. Klamath Basin right around 90 for tomorrow, and then a string of 80s through midweek. Some clouds here and there and overnight lows into the 40s for the Cascades. Maybe a few showers possible on Monday, but overnight lows into the 40s and then 50s. So still very pleasant temperatures overall. And in the Rogue Valley, again, right around 90 degrees for the next several days. So that's going to feel nice, and then it gets hot by the end of next week.
Definitely nicer to see the cooler temperatures.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely not expecting any lightning storms in the area. I know we were tracking some earlier, but looking
No, we're
clear.
looking good. We're looking good for a while, which is definitely going to be helpful for firefighters.
Good to know. Thank you, Oliver.
Yep.